Toxic, deadly chemicals intentionally disposed of at Redstone Arsenal more than 7 decades ago are now impacting surrounding North Alabama communities.
Way 31 anchor Pat Simon was given exclusive access to restricted areas on Redstone. He uncovers what is being done about these hidden dangers.
I put a lot of cardboard and paper down.
There's a reason why Linda Ladd raised her herb garden above the ground.
If there's contamination, then there's no way that it's not getting to people.
She's nervous about potential hidden dangers under her property from nearby Redstone Arsenal.
That's a walking disaster zone, and I'm concerned for everybody's health.
She's talking about the tons of deadly chemical weapons and military bombs that were intentionally buried under Redstone right after World War II.
You find out it's in your own backyard. That's very concerning.
Today, there are still blister, choking, and blood agents beneath North Alabama. Many of them were made by Nazi Germany, Japan, and right here at Redstone Arsenal.
Since we were so good at making those types of weapons, we were also very good at demilitarizing those types of weapons.
Clint Howard leads the environmental restoration program at Redstone. He told me a testing and monitoring program right here began in the 1970s. But most of the cleanup did not really start until the Alabama Department of Environmental Management took over about 10 years ago. Still, there's so much toxic soil below Redstone, the groundwater cannot be safely consumed.
We do not allow wells to be installed for drinking water on Redstone or in the general vicinity of Redstone.
That includes well water restrictions for people like Ladd who live in areas around Redstone. But while Howard maintains those areas are continually monitored, Ladd is not so sure.
Here.
The more contaminated sites are located in South Redstone and mostly wetlands and creek areas. And that's where scientist and field testing expert Jason Watson invited us to follow him to this remote area off limits to the public. Beyond this safeguarded fence is a restricted area where scientists like Watson test and remove some of the dirtiest chemical weapons here.
The next step would be to go in and remove those items from the ground and then dispose of them in accordance with every regulation.
And they appear to be making progress. Within the last 2 years alone, more than 52,000 pounds of chemical compounds have been removed from Redstone. They're reclaiming land, one section at a time. So right now I'm in one of the restricted areas here at Redstone. They call this RSA 68, and this hazardous chemical disposal area. What they're trying to do is clear out this land and reclaim it for new purposes.
We have some areas that have been turned over to FBI and ATF that we've remediated, Raytheon.
And 300 acres of recreational land that's been reclaimed for hunting and fishing. This project is not cheap. $400 million and counting so far to wipe out this toxic mess. It will take another $500 million and 20 years to totally clean up the rest, using equipment like this chamber.
3, 2, 1.
It's called an explosive destruction system, and it's just one of the ways they safely destroy bomb bodies and the chemicals inside of them. One of the more sensitive sites for cleanup, the area right around the rocket test stands at Marshall Space Flight Center, where at least one artillery round was actually found and eventually detonated.
We found some unexploded, or what we call UXO, unexploded ordnance subsurface at Marshall 3, but they were like 2 feet under the ground. So there are over 10,000 subsurface anomalies, and some of them could be dangerous. What we're finding is the majority of those were demilitarized correctly and made non-hazardous.
In the meantime, residents like Ladd remain cautious about the cleanup efforts of hidden dangers beneath them.
You just wonder how well it's being done.
While officials are optimistic about what lies ahead.
We have a high rate of confidence.
At Redstone Arsenal, Pat Simon, Way 31 News.
Redstone environmental officials tell Way 31 that they have outreach programs with the public, and it's to give them updates on the ongoing program.
We have a link to their Team Redstone Facebook page on our website, waytv.com. Just look for this story.